Hello, I'm Jerry Wise, a relationship expert from Family Tree Counseling in Carmel, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis. And this video is entitled, Am I Addicted to My Family of Origin? Well, that's kind of a strange title. Most of us don't think of being addicted to our family of origin. However, as an addictions expert of many years, having been trained as a certified alcohol and drug abuse counselor in the past, and understanding addiction, I have seen both in my training as in marriage and family therapy that many people suffer with similar symptoms of addictions, such as addictions to alcohol or drug abuse, or gambling, or codependency, addiction relationships, that I see many of the same symptoms for those who are addicted to their family of origin. I am a marriage and family coach, professional self-differentiation coach, and I think it's a helpful or useful concept to think in terms of addiction to family of origin. Well, why do I think that's helpful? Because I think there are many people who are dictated, motivated, make major life decisions, choose partners, express significant reactivity, feel dissatisfaction or unhappiness, lose jobs, choose jobs and careers based on family of origin and family of origin dynamics within them. So much so, it can be described as being addicted to your family of origin. And certainly addiction is not helpful for us as adults. Addiction is characterized by inability to consistently abstain from something or someone, or a group of someones. Impairment in behavioral or emotional control, cravings or obsession, diminished recognition of significant problems with one's behavior in interpersonal relationships, and a dysfunctional emotional response. And like other chronic diseases, addiction often involves cycles of relapse and remission. Also, you can think of addiction as an inability to consistently abstain from their family of origin, impairment in behavioral control with their family of origin, craving or constant obsession or increased hunger for their family of origin. We often think of drug of choice or alcohol or drugs, but we can also have family of origin members included in that, which would provide relief or a positive sense of self or rewarding experience. In other words, once we get a little something positive from our family of origin, we might feel elated or feel good, or our self-esteem raises. But then as soon as something goes wrong, it all goes crashing down. Much like if you get drunk. When you start drinking excessively, you start feeling elation and feeling good. And once the alcoholic gets their substance, then they feel good. Then the crash comes, because it can never make good on its promises. Because it's not a substitute for a sense of self, and it's not a substitute for having a real self-esteem, real good self-image, healthy sense of you. And then also a diminished recognition of significant problems with one's behaviors and interpersonal relationships. Addiction, and those who are addicted to their family of origin, don't even see how much it's impairing their lives. They have no clue. Just like the alcoholic who gets the DUI, and when you ask them, well, don't you think you have a drinking problem? They go, no. I don't know why that cop was chasing me. I don't know why. He was just waiting for me. I've driven home before drinking and they never stopped me. Well, they did this time. So again, it's not the drinking that's a problem, it's the policeman. It's the system. It's always something else. And much like the problems we have, many times We can have family of origin problems within us because we carry our family of origin within us. We get married and then we blame our husband or wife for all these problems that we're experiencing inside. So it's a similar or parallel type of problem. Given these basic understandings of addictions, for many people, their family of origin is their drug of choice. Their entire lives are affected by their family of origin, even as adults. As children, this is to be expected. We are to be dependent on our family of origin for love, nurturing, food, shelter, guidance, all of those things. We're very dependent on our family of origin. However, for many, emotionally, and all too often in many other ways, we remain dependent on our family of origin as adults as well. Our own sense of well-being is wrapped up in how our family feels about us. If they don't like us or if we have trouble, then we feel bad. If they like us and we're behaving and we do our family roles as we should, then we feel good. That's a dependency that goes on into adulthood. I would also like to describe addiction to family of origin as a severe and dysfunctional lack of self-differentiation from our family of origin. Again, if we don't achieve a certain self-differentiation from our family, then that dependency, or some could say addiction, that hasn't been broken affects us in so many ways. Let me share with you a list that I've compiled. You might be addicted to your family of origin if you worry chronically and constantly about how your family members think or feel about you. You might be addicted to your family of origin if your anxiety goes up before, during, and after when family gatherings occur. You might be addicted if you either move closer or move farther away from your family of origin just to feel better. You might be addicted to your family of origin if you feel childlike inside when you get around your family of origin or parents. Or when you feel guilty when your parents or siblings complain about how much you visit or call. Or you might be addicted to your family of origin if you feel your parents or family of origin have every right to ask you about anything and to obtain any information from you that they desire, because they love you, in quotes, air quotes. You might be addicted to your family of origin if you would never miss a family gathering, except due to physical inability because of how the family would feel about you, or how they might talk about you, or how you would be criticized or shamed by your parents or siblings. You might be addicted to your family of origin when you believe this rule applies to family of origin, and that rule is, love means never having to say you're sorry. You might be addicted to your family of origin if you feel jealous or hurt that parents favor one or more siblings over you. You also may be addicted if you are a caretaker for under-functioning family members. You might be addicted when a sibling cuts you off. You feel hurt, uneasy, and yearn for reconnection because you've been cut off from a sibling or a parent and you can't stand the cutoff. You might be addicted to your family of origin if you hold out hope that one day your parents will become the parents you always wanted or needed, and that your childhood wounds will be healed because they have changed. You might be addicted to your family of origin if you engage in emotional triangles with family of origin members and you can't get out of those emotional triangles. You can check my video for emotional triangles if you wonder what those are. You might be addicted if you've decided to never interact with your family of origin again. Because again, that distance indicates too much closeness and too much addiction. That's why we have to get away, because we can't stand being that close emotionally. You might be addicted if you feel stuck in a family of origin role. You might be addicted if you cannot imagine having your family of origin around you and feel significant abandonment when you have the thought of them being gone. I don't mean appropriate grief. I don't mean sadness over losing a family member. I mean that you don't think you could exist internally and that you would feel so abandoned or alone that you couldn't stand it. You might be addicted if you make excuses for the family of origin family members. You choose loyalty to family of origin over reason or mature behavior. You might be addicted to your family of origin as long as your family means well. They can do or say anything to you or about you, and they should not be confronted, nor should you have boundaries. That would be an indication possibly of addiction. You might be addicted to your family of origin if assertiveness always ends in conflict and problems in your family of origin. You might be addicted to your family of origin if you would ever change religious beliefs and you would never do it because you have fear of what your family of origin would think about you or how they might respond. You might be addicted to your family of origin if you choose a peace at all costs approach with your family. You might be addicted to your family of origin if love and respect for parents never includes confronting or disagreeing with them. Other additional symptoms I think could be feeling dread being around them because they're so negative, or you feel your family of origin still gets to you, in air quotes, or, quote, gets under your skin, or I feel alone when I get rejected from my family of origin, or when I think about my family of origin. Or do you ask often, what would my family think? What would my mother think? What would my father think? How would my sister feel about me doing this? If we have too much excessiveness of that type of worry, guilt, and obsession, then we probably are struggling with some family of origin addiction issues. Again, our family of origin is something we needed to be addicted to or depended upon when we were children. But as we grow and mature, this should lessen and eventually, through maturity, stop. We become equal to our parents. They stop being mommy and daddy and mom and dad and eventually become, in my parents or family, Sid and Joanne. I don't mean we have to call them by their names, but that emotionally they become sister and brother adults to us. As adults, we no longer need parents emotionally. Also, if we have grown up in a dysfunctional family, say an abusive or alcoholic or neglectful or abandoning, shameful, critical family of origin, these certainly set us up for addiction to family of origin throughout our lives. Breaking this addiction is critical to healing and maturing and recovering as an adult. The goal is to become self-differentiated from your family of origin. Does your family of origin overpower your inner life? Do they overpower your emotions? Do they overpower your relationships? Note, I'm not blaming your parents or siblings or any member of your family, nor do I think they are bad or evil. I am simply saying our family of origin lives inside of us. Growing in self-differentiation provides us freedom to be us and to heal from our past. It's not about blame, it's about becoming yourself. Let me also add, recovery from family of origin addiction is not accomplished by giving up your family of origin. It's about giving up your addiction, the bonds, the enmeshment to your family of origin. You don't have to abstain from your family of origin. You learn to abstain from the obsession, worry, guilt, fear, neediness, and enmeshment with your family of origin. Cutoff is not the answer to addiction problems. Same is true for alcoholic addiction, for example. If an alcoholic just stops drinking, and they truly are an alcoholic, that doesn't equal recovery. And in fact, the AA community would consider this person a dry drunk. In other words, they've stopped drinking alcohol, but they're not in recovery. They just don't have that substance anymore. I think those who have just cut off from their family of origin as dry drunks from their family of origin, that's the phenomena that occurs. Just moving to California, 2,000 miles away from family, just makes you a dry drunk to your family of origin. Doesn't necessarily mean you've recovered or healed from within. You may have just gotten geographical distance. They don't interact with their families because they feel they can't. And they don't have recovery or healing or self-differentiation. Cutting off from family of origin does not produce self-differentiation. That is a different work and can be accomplished a different way. If you feel you have continued in an addicting cycle with your family of origin, I hope you'll contact me for some coaching and guidance and some recovery work. I see people in my office. I see people online. I hope you'll join our YouTube channel. Listen to our other videos. I hope you'll like or comment on this video. And I also hope you'll share these videos with your social media as well. I want to thank you for watching today, and have a great day.